About 10 years ago, I started my career in communication. I started as a research assistant. I was in charge of social media. And it's been 10 years and I've been thinking about what was my end game at that point. What did I think after 10 years I'd be? Okay, a few days ago, I watched a video by director Phil, and he was interviewing Safaricom's Chief Executive Officer, Peter Ndegwa, and I loved the interview so much. And some of the things I learned about Peter Ndegwa, he positioned himself in such a way that headhunters would find him for such top roles. In the next 8 weeks, I want us to kind of identify, not even identify, walk the journey with me on how do you position yourself as a communications expert for leadership roles. You must, maybe you have just 8 years experience, maybe 7, 6, maybe 10 like me, but what is the end game over the next few years? Where do you want to see yourself as a communications expert in a leadership role? This is Career Insights by Eunice. My name is Eunice Victoria and I am a career coach. For the next 8 weeks, we're going to do something very, very interesting. How do you position yourself as a leader, as a communications expert? For the next 8 weeks, I want us to learn how do you position yourself for a top leadership role as a communication professional. You see, I believe that everyone has influence, and that's why we're going to do something very interesting for these 8 weeks. We're going to have a case study, and everything that we're going to learn there, we're going to actually do it by, literally, do it literally, let me call it literally. I'm going to come up with, let me call it a subject, a person, yeah? Just a rhetoric profile. Now, if you know someone who is a communications expert, you want to invite this person to subscribe and follow this channel, because over the next 8 weeks, we're going to come up with a character, let's call it a rhetoric character, kind of someone we've created. Let's call her Sylvia, okay? We're going to come up with a character called Sylvia and position Sylvia in a way that she's going to get an interview at the end of 8 weeks. And we're going to develop a cover letter, a LinkedIn profile, CV for Sylvia. Oh gosh, we're going to develop a cover letter, a LinkedIn profile, a CV for Sylvia, and even develop a portfolio and try to make applications on behalf of Sylvia. And I want us to see what does it mean to position yourself? What are the key points that you want to look at when positioning yourself as a leader? If you follow my LinkedIn page, you know that I put opportunities every day for leadership roles, some not so leadership, but some are. And all those roles, Sylvia is going to apply for. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we're going to find out then, have we been called for an interview? Okay, of course, her name is not going to be Sylvia, but we'll come up with a name and all the data will be shared here on this YouTube channel. And at the end of the 8 weeks now, you'd see if this is working or this is not. Yeah, as a career coach, I know it's gonna work because I've done this for so long. But let's find out. Let's do it for real. In the next 8 weeks, I want us to learn 8 steps on how to position yourself in a leadership role. I've done a lot of research on this, and if you follow these 8 steps, I'm sure that whatever stage you are at, you must find yourself in a leadership role. And remember that you're also doing a case study for someone called Sylvia that we created, and we're going to ensure that Sylvia lands. Yeah, you're going to ensure that Sylvia lands an interview over the next 2 months. By the end of the 8th week, we're going to show you how many applications we made for Sylvia, the character that we'll have created, and the interviews that she has been invited for. And just also for you to understand my success rate, because if you see me on LinkedIn, I'm always saying that I'm offering CV writing services, application services, and so on. We're going to do this live on this YouTube channel. So remember to invite your friends, especially those who are in the communications field. I don't mind if you ask someone else to come in. What is the first step for positioning yourself in a leadership role, especially as a communications expert? Remember, this can cut across, but I'm speaking with as a special a special profession, that is a communications expert, unrelated. If you're in marketing, that's fine. But what is the first step to position yourself as a leader in a communication role? Remember, it can be a leadership role in communications. That's director of communication, knowledge management, communication manager or something like that. So how do you position yourself in such a role? Remember, also, I'm speaking with everyone. If you're an intern, if you're in mid-level, if you're already in management as well, how do you even go higher? How do you reach the Peter and Degwa level? Okay, so we're going to learn the first step. And this is easy. If you've been my client before, I normally take you through this task that you don't like, and you normally take a whole week to give me feedback. Self-awareness. The first step is self-awareness. Self-awareness is just self-awareness, trying to understand who you are. What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What can you do? What can you not do? What are some of the assets that you have that can help you? Okay. For example, sometimes I have clients, they don't even know their LinkedIn password. So you want to know where your LinkedIn password is, or you even want to know why it is important to even have a LinkedIn page. Yeah. You want to know what are the strengths, or what are some of the things that people say I'm very good at. For example, you can say Victoria is a very empathetic person. Even just those interpersonal skills are very, very important for you to be self-aware of. In a minute, I'll show you how to do that. But again, you want to identify what are your weaknesses, okay? So there's a story that I give all my clients. I know you know all that. There's a time I was doing a self-awareness test because I wanted to improve, okay? So I called all my family members and gave them some forms to fill for me. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What will people put, this go-getter, she's all this. And something I noted with everyone was that she is generous. I thought I was giving because I was kind. Kumbe, you're generous. You give me, I just take, I don't care. So I later found out that I was not very kind, and I needed to improve on being kind for me to survive in that big family that I come for. So self-awareness is very, very important. Also, later on we'll learn about adaptability, as some of the points that will help us in some of the steps. But again, now I want us to get to understand how do you conduct a self-awareness, and take this very seriously. So the first step to self-awareness is know who you are first. Take your notebook, 48 pages. Write every positive thing you know about yourself. Can be professionally, even in just your personal life. Professionally can be, for instance, I love coaching people. I love helping people grow. I love helping people find jobs. All the positive things that you know about yourself. Okay? You think you know according to you. After I write all the positive, also go to negatives. Maybe I procrastinate a lot. Nitakutumia your CV, you client mwenye hajapata CV yake, I'll send to you. Yeah, so maybe you procrastinate a lot. Maybe you're not very kind. All those negatives you add, and you have to be very serious about it and take it very, very seriously. Maybe at work you struggle with the writing articles, then that can be your weakness. If article writing is very, very important in your workplace, maybe you struggle with creating friends at the workplace, then maybe you want to write that as well. Everything that you think is positive about you and negative about you, both in your personal life and professional life. And I don't know why you guys don't just have one life. I have one life. I don't have personal and professional. And I have to change gear, no. Just have one life is fine. But if you have both the two lives, that's fine. Your personal and professional. Some people even have their spiritual life. So if maybe you like to listen to God first, then that can be a strength, and so on. You're intuitive. Write everything. Once you write everything that you're sure you know about yourself, both negative and positive, then you want to ask some few people in your sphere. And this can include your family members, your mother, your father, can include your boss, which is the most important one, because this person will give you the key highlights that you want here, okay? Your boss can be a colleague, even the colleague who doesn't like you, or the one who does those things you don't like. That person will give you very key insights, because it will show us what are you showing to them for them to behave that way around you, okay? Yeah. I almost gave an example of a colleague I have, but that's fine. Yeah. So once you do all that, and normally I recommend getting 10 people. Your boss must be one of them, a parent, a spouse if you have one, your daughter if they're old enough. Some people who are close to you who will give you some concrete feedback. Someone who has known you for about 2 years. Recently, not I knew you when you were, in your mom's tummy. That one is not a relevant one. Yeah. So get all that feedback. So remember, now you have your feedback from you that you developed by yourself, and now you have feedback from these people who have known you for all these years. And please take this seriously, because if you don't do it, then you cannot be like Sylvia, because Sylvia is someone we've created, and now I've created even the profile for her. This will help a lot. So once you have all this feedback, then I want you to analyze this feedback. Okay, sit down. What did everyone say? My mom said I'm a good writer. My boss said I'm a good writer. I said I love writing. I'm a good writer. That means that's your number one positive. Yeah, and it's the reason why you're working where you are, the reason why you are in this level that you are right now. You are a good writer. It's true. And then you can find another feedback of someone saying, I think you're mean. And then you're like, hey, I've never heard that one. Why do you think I'm mean? Well, I asked you to give me your pen and you refused, but you were using that pen. You needed to also write. That's not true, because, based on what you're telling me, I'm mean because I didn't give you my pen that I was using. So these are the feedback that I want you to cancel. Okay? So someone can give you something like the way I was given, you are what? That one flew away. Yeah. So any other example that you're given that you don't agree with, just try to prompt and try to ask, okay, why do you think this and this? Even the good ones. And then avoid just getting, feedback that you're good, you're excellent, you're bright, you're brilliant. That one will not give you the concrete feedback that you want to know and will affect the self-awareness test. And then there's another window that I want you to focus more on. So, for instance, I didn't prompt, I didn't ask, but I lost my train of thought. But let me come back again. I'm back. So maybe the example that I was giving you, all my family members said I was generous, but I thought it's kind to give out a gift during birthday. It's kind to give, a Valentine's gift. But for them, it's generous, because wow, who thinks about giving women, gifts every woman in their life? That's so generous. So that's something that you find out. And for me, it was, mind blowing that, wow, you're generous. You need to improve on kindness. So you'll find other feedback. For instance, in the office, you're someone who comes and sits down. So we can't know you. We don't know if you're okay. We don't know, so we don't understand. So if you get such feedback, then you try to get, oh, this is why you think I have an ATT. And that's a very important feedback, because that is what will give you the next opportunity, even in leadership, if you're almost there. Because now, if the reason why the boss wasn't considering you for leadership is because we thought you have an attitude, and then next week you have all this vibrant, person who greets everyone, who wants to discover how, that people are doing, how, you're a whole changed person. So the reason why maybe you are not given that leadership role could change just by identifying or knowing that who you are. And that's the self-awareness test. So as I say, what I want you to focus on is the feedback that you'll get that you didn't know, okay? Because the ones you know, you're probably working on them, but the ones you don't know, it's probably why you're not getting these opportunities. It's probably why you won't be like Peter Ndegwa, who, was just headhunted and he got a leadership role. I have the tests with me. If you share with me your email address on the link below. I don't know why I keep looking at my book, just in case I miss something. If you have your email address, I can share with you how to do this self-awareness test by yourself. We can also help you analyze it at a fee. Okay. Yeah, we can help you analyze it as well. But just contact this and share with me. I'll be happy to just look at it and find out how you're doing in terms of who you are. And then also, if you can go above and beyond and get 10 opportunities that you feel that you should go. For instance, if you're an intern, you need to now look at 10 opportunities for an entry role. If you are on entry, you want to look at 10 opportunities for a mid-level role. If you're on mid-level leadership role and so on. So we try to identify, are you self-aware? Are you applying for the right role? Okay. For instance, for like Sylvia, we're going to do a CV and kind of develop the profile for Sylvia. We need to ensure that we are applying for the right role for Sylvia. Otherwise, I'll come here after 2 weeks and there's no interview. So if I don't know who Sylvia is and I make an application, then the recruiter might not take Sylvia for an interview. So this is very important. And I do this with all my clients. We have to know who you are or what might affect you from staying in that role. Remember, it's not always, Victoria, it's not just about landing your next role. It's also about staying in that role for a better period of time, because sometimes when you stay in the role that you are at, it's easy for you to change and to develop all these skills that you're going to learn over the next 7 weeks now. There's another category of people that I want to contact me like yesterday. You know, if you have more than 8 years experience and you are in a communication role, please check my LinkedIn page. I'll also attach the link to my LinkedIn page, and you'll find a form up there written, contact me now. Just contact me there so that we reach to you and find out where you are at in terms of your leadership journey. Remember, we don't want to stay too long for where we are at, and then it's now 15 years plus experience, and we have not enjoyed what God wants us to enjoy. We've not used our service, the profession that God gave us, to enlarge our tent. And that gives me this verse that I love very much, and which has also become my life's mission. That's on Isaiah chapter 54, verse 2. And the Bible says, enlarge the place of your tent and let the curtains of your habitations be stretched out. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes. For you will spread abroad to the right and to the left. Yeah, and so on. You can read it. Yeah. So if you do this, then we'll help you also to stretchen your tent. Remember, it's also biblical for Christians. And I'm sure that you'll do well. I'm very happy to talk to you today. Next week we learn about the next step that you need to do to position yourself as a leader, especially as a communications expert. Thank you very much for watching. This is Career Insights by Eunice, where we help you to get into the top list of a headhunter. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, especially if you're a communications marketing expert, and also subscribe to ensure if you like the content that I've given you today, please show me that you like it. Also, you can just comment and let me know what insights you need to help you get to the top list of a headhunter. Remember also to follow me on LinkedIn, Eunice Victoria, on Facebook and all the other platforms. Remember also that if you have any question regarding CV writing, LinkedIn revamp, career coaching, career counseling, job applications and job search, do not forget to email me on victoriaeunice36@gmail.com. Okay, that's it for today. God bless you till we meet next week.